In this video, we're going to be looking at data activity, data pattern generation AI to generate a synthetic data set based off an existing data set and the various metadata that we've scanned and the statistical heuristics of that data set. First, create our data activity. So we'll come here to our Activity Explorer and we're going to add a new activity, which is going to be our data and pattern generation AI. Once we've given this a name and description, we'll save this data activity and load it up here. The first step that we'll need to take is to upload a CSV file to be analysed. This will be our existing data set. So we'll click on this action, select our server, and load up the file that we want to use as our base data set. Now that we have our CSV of data to be analysed attached to our data activity, we can run the build metadata action. To do that, we simply click the execute button here, select our server, and click execute. Now that our metadata analysis has taken place, we will have a new option to generate our data. If we click the execute button here and select our server, we will now be able to give a name to the file that we're generating, select how many rows you want to generate, along with a location for the CSV that we're creating. We can pick up that generated data either from the job result folder or in the location that we defined inside of our form submission. You can see here that we have the generated file, columns that match the example CSV that we used, along with 1,000 rows of data that will match the statistical properties of the original dataset. To visualize our data and pattern AI in action, we can use the VIP data analyzer to look at the statistical properties of the two CSVs. The first one being the CSV we used to scan the metadata, and the second one being our generated CSV. Our initial file, and then we'll load our generated CSV. We'll then select the aggregations that we want to view, and we will load these CSVs, and then we click process. Here you can see that for our mean, median, sum, count, standard deviation, maximum and minimum, the heuristics of the data are all very similar between the initial scan data and the generated data set that we've used. Here you can see that our mean, median, standard deviation, maximum and minimum statistics match between our initially analysed data set and the data set that we've generated. Finally, you can also set up a data pattern generation AI submit form from your initial data activity so that teams can create their generated data on demand through the VIP Executor task system.